There are places on this earth where the living are not welcome. Islands cut off from civilization, wrapped in fog and legend. Places where the boundary between our world and something darker has worn dangerously thin. Today, we're traveling to 5 of the most cursed islands on the planet. But I warn you, some mysteries are better left undisturbed. Our journey begins with Isla de las Muñecas, the island of the dolls. South of Mexico City, in the canals of Xochimilco, there is an island that should not exist, where hundreds of dolls hang from every tree, their empty eyes watching, their severed limbs swaying in the breeze. The story begins with Don Julian Santana, a man who isolated himself on this island in the 1950s. One day, he discovered the body of a young girl who had drowned in the canal. Shortly after, he found a doll floating in the same spot. Believing the doll belonged to the dead girl's spirit, Don Julian hung it from a tree as a memorial. That's when the whispers started. Don Julian became convinced the girl's spirit was restless, possibly possessed. He began hanging more dolls, believing they would appease her, but it was never enough. The whispers grew louder, the dolls demanded more. For 50 years, Don Julian collected dolls from trash heaps and canals. He never cleaned them, never repaired them. Hundreds of rotting, dismembered dolls now cover the island, their heads lolling, their eyes following movement. In 2001, Don Julian Santana was found dead, drowned in the exact same spot where he'd discovered the girl's body half a century earlier. Today, the Island of the Dolls is a tourist attraction, but visitors report deeply unsettling experiences. Dolls that change position between photographs, whispers coming from plastic mouths. Some tourists have fled in terror, reporting that the dolls' eyes followed them as they ran. Local legends say the dolls are possessed by the spirits of children who drowned in the canals. Others believe Don Julian's obsession created something darker, an army of vessels waiting to be filled. The question isn't whether the dolls are alive, it's what's living inside them. Off the coast of Nagasaki, Japan, rises what looks like a battleship from the mist, but it's not a ship. It's an island, and it's completely dead. Hashima Island was once the most densely populated place on Earth. In the 1950s, over 5,000 people lived on this tiny rock, mining coal from beneath the ocean floor. It was a vertical city, a monument to industrial ambition. But ambition has a dark side. During World War II, hundreds of forced laborers were brought here. Korean and Chinese prisoners worked in horrific conditions, many dying in the mines below. Their bodies were never returned home. They remain somewhere in the darkness beneath the island. In 1974, the coal ran out. Within months, the island was completely evacuated. People left everything behind: dishes on tables, clothes in closets, an entire city frozen in time. Today, Hashima is a ghost town in the most literal sense. Visitors report hearing footsteps in empty corridors, seeing figures moving in windows of abandoned apartments. Children's laughter echoes from the rooftop playground where no children have played in half a century. The Japanese government allows limited tours, but only to designated safe areas. Vast sections of the island remain sealed off. When asked why, officials cite structural instability. But the tour guides won't go near those areas even in daylight. They know something else keeps people away: the workers who never left. Welcome to the Venetian Lagoon, where a small island sits abandoned and forbidden. This is Poveglia, and if you believe the locals, it's the most haunted place on Earth. In 1348, the Black Death swept through Europe like a scythe. Venice, desperate to contain the pestilence, designated Poveglia as a quarantine station. The sick were brought here to die, and they did, by the thousands. But the bodies kept coming, so many that they couldn't be buried properly. Instead, they were burned in massive pits. The soil of Poveglia, even today, is estimated to be composed of nearly 50% human ash. The horror didn't end with the plague. In 1922, a mental asylum was built on the island. Patients reported hearing voices, seeing shadows that moved on their own. The doctors dismissed it as madness, until the head physician himself began to see them too. According to legend, the doctor became obsessed with the island's dark energy. He began performing crude lobotomies on his patients in the bell tower. Some say he was trying to cure them. Others believe he was feeding something that lived in the walls. One night, witnesses claim they saw him throw himself from the bell tower, or perhaps he was pushed. His body was never properly recovered, and the bell, which shouldn't be able to ring without human intervention, is still heard echoing across the lagoon on foggy nights. Today, Poveglia is strictly off-limits. Fishermen give it a wide berth. Those who have illegally visited report overwhelming feelings of dread, sudden temperature drops, and the sensation of being watched by dozens of unseen eyes. The Italian government has tried to auction the island multiple times. There are never serious buyers. Hidden in the East River, in the shadow of Manhattan's gleaming towers, lies an island that New York wants you to forget. North Brother Island. Population 0, unless you count the dead. On June 15, 1904, the steamship General Slocum caught fire during a pleasure cruise. It was the deadliest disaster in New York City history. Over 1,000 people burned or drowned, mostly women and children. The current carried their bodies here to North Brother Island, where they washed up on the shores like driftwood. Later, the island became home to Riverside Hospital, a quarantine facility for the contagious and the dying. Smallpox, tuberculosis, typhoid fever. If you caught something that could kill your neighbors, you were sent here to die alone. The most famous resident was Mary Mallon. You know her as Typhoid Mary. She was forcibly confined here for 26 years until her death. Her quarters are still standing, windows broken, walls covered in decay. Today, North Brother Island is officially a bird sanctuary, closed to the public. But boaters who pass too close report strange phenomena. Lights in windows of buildings without electricity, the sound of a woman crying, the smell of burning wood and flesh on days with no wind. The island has been reclaimed by nature. Trees grow through hospital wards, vines strangle the morgue. But visitors who sneak onto the island illegally report that certain buildings remain unnaturally clear of vegetation, as if something inside won't let nature take root. The dead of North Brother Island are still quarantined, and they're still contagious, with something that can't be cured. Our final destination isn't cursed in the traditional sense. There are no ghost stories here, no legends of plague or death. This island is cursed with something far stranger. It doesn't belong on Earth. Socotra Island lies in the Arabian Sea, isolated from the mainland for millions of years. Evolution took a different path here. 1/3 of the plant life exists nowhere else on the planet. The dragonblood tree bleeds red sap when cut. The desert rose swells like an elephant's leg. Bottle trees store water in grotesquely swollen trunks. Ancient Arab sailors called it the island of the jinn, the realm of spirits and demons. They believed beings from another dimension lived among these strange trees, creatures that could slip between worlds. Modern visitors report unusual experiences, magnetic anomalies that scramble compasses, areas where radiation levels spike without source, caves that seem to extend far deeper than the island's geology should allow. Socotra isn't haunted by the dead, it's haunted by something that was never alive in the way we understand it, something that's been waiting on this island long before humans discovered it. And according to local legends, it's still waiting. 6 islands, 6 dark histories, 6 places where the natural order broke down, where death refused to stay buried, where the impossible became terrifyingly real. What makes an island cursed? Is it the accumulated weight of human suffering? Is it isolation that allows supernatural forces to grow stronger? Or is it something we don't yet understand, something that existed long before we arrived and will remain long after we go? The oceans cover 71% of our planet. There are thousands of remote islands, most unexplored, many unmapped. How many more cursed places are waiting out there in the dark water? Perhaps the real question isn't what makes these islands cursed. Perhaps the question is, what do they curse us with when we visit them? What do we bring back that we can't see? What follows us home? The islands remember everyone who visits. The question is, do you want to be remembered? Would you visit these cursed islands? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe for more dark mysteries. And remember, some places don't want to be found.